What's good, Commanders fans? First preview of the season. I am super excited. I'm super hyped. It is a sold-out crowd at FedEx Field. First game without Dan Snyder. Josh Harris, Magic Johnson should be lit. RG3 is coming back. I know you guys saw the video on Twitter. That's different for sure. Very odd. I know you guys got your opinions about RG3. Had that great season in 2012, and then the rest is history after that. And then Champ Bailey is coming back, which is very interesting as well, to say the least. But a lot of people are coming back for Josh Harris. I think Josh Harris and Mitchell Rels has a plane that's going to be picking up Sonny Jurgensen and some other Washington or Skins greats and legends. So a lot of people are coming back, man. I think even John Riggins is coming back. John Riggins hasn't been around FedEx Field or around the team in a little while. So it's good to see, man. Good to hear. It's going to be lit, man. I know the crowd's going to be lit. The energy's going to be crazy. A sold-out crowd, standing room only. So it's going to be lit at FedEx Field on Sunday. So we're going to get to the injury report here. Storylines, of course, is Eric Bieniemy versus Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon got a head coaching job when I think Eric Bieniemy deserves a head coaching job. Eric Bieniemy got the best against Jonathan Gannon in the Super Bowl, where he called the red zone touchdowns to Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney. But Jonathan Gannon ended up with a job. I thought that was pretty disrespectful. But so I think Eric Bieniemy definitely can outcoach or outsmart Jonathan Gannon in this game with his play calling and his offensive prowess for sure. Jonathan Gannon, you see the awkward speech that he had with his players, and then he doing the hand gesture with one of the guys that they drafted. So Jonathan Gannon, rookie head coach, got to look out for that. But let's get to the injury report here. And the keys to victory is not going to be too much, because let's just be real here. Let's just be real here. We are the better team, but it's any given Sunday. You never know what can happen. Josh Dobbs is a mobile quarterback. We struggle against mobile quarterbacks, but I still think we are the better team for sure, and we should take the victory in this one. But Dax Milne was moved to the injury reserve. That was a roster move that was made today. And I want to say James Smith-Williams was moved to the active roster. I got to pull that up, but a lot of people are saying that could be an indication about Chase Young not being ready and available. But you got to think about it this way too. F.A. Obata is out. Fadarian Mathis is out. So we're pretty thin in the interior right now. James Smith-Williams, no, I'm sorry, not James Smith-Williams, but one of the guys, William Bradley King was signed to the active roster, defensive end. So keep an eye on that. But you got to remember, F.A. Obata's on injury reserve, Fadarian Mathis on injury reserve. So it could be something about Chase Young not being ready. But just in case he's not ready, you want to have that guy available in William Bradley King to be ready to go if Chase Young can't go from the self-diagnosed stinger. So he's going to be hearing from doctors. Chase Young today, I want to say he was listed as questionable. Yeah, he was listed as questionable today. He's been limited all week. He was limited in practice. Dax Milne moved to injury reserve, so Jamison Crowder most likely will be our punt returner. I do not trust Kazmir Allen at all after what he did in that preseason game and dropping passes as well. I think Jamison Crowder can definitely give you some electricity a little bit, but I just want to see him catch the punt and not muff it or drop it. That's all we need in this game. We don't really need dynamic punt returns in this game. It would be nice, but it's not something that we really need against the Arizona Cardinals. Terry McLaurin was a full participant. He's going to be playing, so that's awesome news from the turf toe. So we got all our weapons out there against their young corners. Ben St. Juste, full participant with an ankle injury. He's going to be playing. On the other side, Kelvin Beachum for the Arizona Cardinals, offensive lineman. He is listed as out. So their rookie, Paris Johnson, who went to Ohio State, right tackle, he will be playing. So Montez Sweat, Chase Young, you guys got to eat against the rookie. You guys got to eat. You guys got to feast for sure. Marquise Hollywood Brown is limited, questionable, 50-50 if he plays. I think he's going to play, but he's probably the one. He's like one of the only explosive players. They do have Rondell Moore as well. So he is a guy we have to look out, because, we struggle sometimes against speedy receivers that can take the top off of defense. Zach Ertz, questionable. We'll see if he plays. He's hurt us before with the Eagles. He is a solid tight end. Even though he is old, he's getting older and older, he's still a tight end that can definitely hurt us for sure. Linebacker Dennis Gardeck was a full participant. He will be playing on Sunday. So the big question mark for us really is just Chase Young. We have to wait and see. That might be a game time decision. We'll see. So I'm rooting for Chase Young. Want to see him play. Want to see him be successful, but he's got to be on the field here. All right. So let's get the keys to victory here. So I kind of a little jumbled up here, but this is the stuff we got to look at for sure. Offensive line's got to hold up. Andrew Wiley, Sadiq Charles Lano. Their defensive line, they got some developing guys. Zaven Collins is a guy that a lot of people wanted, linebacker coming out of Tulsa. LJ Collier, first round pick, former first round pick. Kaiser White, former Eagles, so Jonathan Gannon probably brought him over. So offensive line's got to hold up and give Sam Howell some time. But my biggest key really is establishing the run. I think this is a Brian Robinson game. I know we want to get cute and get sexy, get the ball to Jahan, Terry McLaurin, get those guys involved for sure. Curtis Samuel, Logan Thomas, Cole Turner, Gibby out the backfield, throwing him the football, being dynamic and switching it up. But I think smash mouth football's going to win this game. It's going to be raining on Sunday. It might even be thundering on Sunday a little bit. So it's going to be nasty weather conditions. So this may be an ugly game. And I think it's a game where you got to get the ball to Brian Robinson. I would punish them from the start. We got to have a fast start. We always have these slow starts on the Ron Rivera. We got to play smash mouth football, put our foot on their necks, and we win games. When Brian Robinson has good games, that's usually when we win games. We can dominate in the run game. Last year, our identity was running the ball, playing keep away. We don't have to play keep away against Josh Dobbs, but running the ball, smash mouth football, having our identity, I think that will help warm up the offensive line, get them going, getting some smash mouth plays from the offensive line, getting them warmed up will help them protect Sam as well, make it easier. Balance in the game for Sam getting the run game going. Brian Robinson, I think he should have a feast against the Cardinals defense. They traded away Isaiah Simmons. They traded away their left tackle. They've been having a yard sale, fire sale, giving guys away. Buda Baker requested a trade. They've given away a bunch of guys. So a lot of people think they're tanking, but they still could be somewhat of a competitive team. But I think I would go with running the football, establishing the run. I know that's an easy cliche one, but establishing the run, getting the ground game going with Brian Robinson. And that leads me to my prize picks for Sunday. Make sure you guys use my promo code REAL@Oliver, 100% deposit match. You get a deposit match up to $100 when you use my promo code REAL@Oliver. The link that is down below in the description. So they have Brian Robinson over under 57.5 rushing yards. I got him getting the over. You look against Cleveland, he had 87. San Fran, he had 58. The Giants, he had 89. Giants, 96. This is last year's stats. Atlanta, he had 105. I don't think you're going to get a lower line. I don't think you're going to see a lower line like this again at 57.5. So I would take the over on that. And then they got the promo with Dak Prescott, over a half passing yards. So that's easy money right there. Take Brian Robinson the over 57.5 rushing yards. All right, so let's see some other offensive. Get the ball out quickly. The West Coast offense. Use Sam Howell's legs, RPOs. Use his legs in the red zone. Red zone efficiency. I would be a little conservative here. Take the field goal if you have to. This is not a game where you're gonna have to run up the score, but you gotta convert in the red zone. Last year that was Achilles heel with Scott Turner. Want to see what Eric Bieniemy does in the red zone and his play calling as well. That's what we're looking for, improvement in the red zone. Give the ball to Brian Robinson, finish plays. You got Jahan Dodson in the red zone. You got Terry McLaurin. You got all these weapons. Cole Turner, Logan Thomas. You got so many guys. De'Ami Brown, get him involved as well. Spread the wealth. Get the ball to your best players early and often. Get these guys in space. Get Gibby in space. Offensive line, of course, and clock management. Ron Rivera, I say this all the time. 4th down decision making, 2-point conversions, clock management before the half. When to throw the challenge flag. Like I said, I would be somewhat conservative here. I would take the points. Take the points when you can get them. This is not a game where we got to run up the score, so take the points when you can get them. I want to see how the screen game is executed. Eric Bieniemy talked about that, or that's been a big thing. The screen game, tight end screens, motions, misdirection. How is that going to be played out? So I think Sam Howell's going to have a good game. Defense, force turnovers, win the turnover battle. And Mayo Forbes against Hollywood Brown. Limit big plays. Rondell Moore, you have to tackle. These guys are slippery guys. They're yak guys. They can make you miss. James Conner is a good running back. You have to stop the run. John Allen, Deron Payne, Montez Sweat, Chase Young, Jamin Davis, Cody Barton. They got to stay disciplined. Cam Curl, Buffalo Nickel, Derek Forrest. We got to stop and contain the run. We did not stop the run against the Cleveland Browns last year. We struggled in that game. That's a big reason why we lost, because we couldn't stop Nick Chubb, and we didn't look good in the preseason. A lot of our starters did not play in the preseason for the most part, but the one drive that they played, they didn't look good. Tackle, tackle, tackle. Be ready for those jet sweeps and reverses, and then gap integrity against Josh Dobbs. He's a mobile quarterback that can move around the pocket. He's a guy that played well in a couple games, played a decent game against Dallas, and then almost had an upset last year. He's a smart young man. He's like an engineer or something like that. He is a very smart young guy, and he knows the offense coming in, and that's why they traded for him, because he knows the offense of their offensive coordinator. He knows it play by play. He knows the language and everything. He knows how to call the plays, so he's going to be ready to go. He's going to be ready. This is a game we should win, but he's going to be ready to go. Del Rio really struggles against mobile quarterbacks. Stick to your receivers: Rondell Moore, Marquise Brown, Zach Ertz, tackle and limit big plays. Contain Zach Ertz. We have struggled against tight ends. Chase Young and Montez, so they got to finish plays and tackles as well. Now the matchups for our wide receivers, they got a rookie in K-Trell. He was like a 5th or 6th round pick. K-Trell Clark. Got to win that matchup. Marco Wilson's a decent corner, but I don't think he can check Jahan or Terry or any of our guys, Diami or Curtis Samuel. We should definitely win that matchup. Buda Baker is a darn good safety. We already know that. Pro Bowl, perennial Pro Bowl safety. And then special teams, I already talked about that. Jamison Crowder has to fill punts for sure. And Joey Sly, make your kicks. Tressway, do your thing. Win that field position battle. And Cameron Cheeseman, we got to see some good snaps from him as well. Trying to think if there's some other notes that I have. I already talked about DJ Humphreys, and they got a couple. They got a makeshift offensive line. Will Hernandez from the Giants, very familiar name. I think we should win that match in the interior. Get interior pressure on Josh Dobbs. We gotta give him a hard time. Stop the run. Stop James Conner or contain James Conner to make Josh Dobbs one-dimensional and keep him in the pocket and make him force them to throw the football where he has to beat us with his arm. And I think we can win this game by 10+ points for sure. They do have Trey McBride. He's a decent tight end as well. Keith Ishmael is a backup guard on that team as well. Former commander, former Washington football team player. So that's the notes I have, man. Like I said, this is a pretty cut and dry game, man. But I'm gonna go with my score prediction. I got it being 23-10. I think we win this game. I think they're gonna give us a little bit of a scare in the first half and maybe like 10-7 to end the first half or something like that, or like 7-3 or something like that to end the first half, and maybe it might be like a slow start or 14-10 or something like that. I could see something like that happening in the first half where we just have somewhat of a scare in the first half, and then we finally break away in the second half. So I would say 14-7 in the first half, and then it ends up being 23-10 or 10-3 in the first half, and then it ends up being 23-10. We take this home pretty handily. I think Brian Robinson's going to get a touchdown. I think Jahan's going to get a touchdown. Jahan Dotson, if you want to take the over 100 receiving yards, 42.5, something like that. This guy, he smashed his receiving yards. So I'm excited for the new era of Sam Howell. I'm excited for that, and just the new era for the fan base of Josh Harris, Magic Johnson, Mitchell Reynolds. This is an exciting game, and I can't wait to see the energy. And the last thing is the crowd. I want to see a false start. I want to see that. I want to see it like a college atmosphere where they can't even hear. They got to do a silent snap count at FedEx. The Cardinals will have to do that. We're forcing false starts, delays the game, and all kinds of stuff. So I wanted to be rowdy and litty in FedEx. So the last key to victory is the fan base. We got to get loud and definitely be proud in there for sure. So I'm excited, man. This should be a fun game. Left hand up. Let's get those left hands up again. Shout out to those guys for making that song. We got to get those left hands up again for sure. So all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. Put your score prediction down below. Hell's Commanders, peace.